Cardiovascular Institute of the South is celebrating 40 years of delivering healthcare to our patients and communities. Founded by Dr. Craig Walker in 1983 and guided by a mission to provide the highest quality cardiovascular care available, CIS has pioneered hundreds of firsts to improve outcomes for cardiovascular diseases. Through new technology, virtual care, outpatient procedures, and national growth, CIS is improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're getting ready for the weekly Terrebonne Parish Council meeting. To do that, we bring in the Council Vice Chair, Carly Harding, District 2. Thanks so much for being here. And
Thanks for inviting me.
Always a busy time.
Yes.
After the holidays, anything changes after the holidays?
No more than what it is. We still have people here, and they have to be taken care of. So we do the best job that we possibly could of managing Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah, when a year changes from 24 to 25, then no procedural difference, right?
No, it's kind of set forth in our scheduling how we do things. This just happened to be the first meeting coming up this week of the year. And we're just following through from the budget that we have, and some of the things are still on the table that it takes time to actually for them to come to fruition.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's talk about it first. You know, you had the Budget and Finance Committee was meeting. A couple of different things there: food services and the community development block grants, right?
Yeah, it's always been a thing that, we actually try to have quality service for it. And I thought it was rather important because that contract is going to the Juvenile Detention Center. And we want to make sure we're not only actually housing the kids, they get, through Mr. Drew Harris, they get care and education and stuff like that. So, if the kids is eating well, right, they actually perform well.
Yeah, that can help out a lot and could be the root cause of a lot of issues. We did talk about the community block grant and Fletcher getting part of that for the aviation center.
Yeah, that's something that's Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government is partnering with Fletcher, Aviation and Avionics. They're going to be teaching that. I think if everyone follows Terrebonne Parish, our airport and the people that are out there in the airport are doing a wonderful job there. We even have a police department that's down there now. Looking forward to having expansion where we can have a fire department. So when they're servicing officer, they're going into drones and all kind of other aviation, avionic opportunities within the Gulf. And so they actually want to kind of start a lot of things here in Houma.
Yeah, if they can have a unmanned drone, or actually a manned drone, like a drone taxi that brings guys out to the rigs, they're on the cutting edge of a lot of that stuff. And working with Louisiana Tech and Fletcher is a great way to go about that.
Yeah, right. And I think from my understanding of it, because I went to meetings a little while back, and I think there's only two places that they're going to actually do it: somewhere in Florida and somewhere right here in Louisiana.
Right. So if we can kind of capture the Gulf business here, that'd be great for Terrebonne Parish as well. So Public Service Commission, and that's Danny Babin, I guess. And then we're talking about actually, you're talking about the water supply and changing things to use an ultraviolet light. I've actually had one of these before, and I've dealt with that. But getting away from where I know it's come a big trend would be the chlorination of water and also sulfur in the water, dioxide in the water. Using these ultraviolet lights would be a great way to maybe purify the water.
It would kill the germs, and I think just this week they were saying if you drink too much alcohol, it causes cancer. Right. So as we actually make progress in human beings around here, we have better ways to actually have longer life. And so this is something that we're going to actually have here in Terrebonne Parish to find a better way. Like you were saying earlier, we've been dealing with chlorine for so long. Yeah. But then you're looking at sulfur dioxide. And you got a lot of chemicals, all depends on how if you apply heat to it, it becomes poisonous. Right. So sulfur and sulfur dioxide, that's
if you could do a light, that would seem like to be the safest way to do it. And anytime you can lessen the chemicals in the water supply would be a great way. I know this has been kind of in the back of chat rooms and conspiracy theorist for I used to have a guy when I worked in New Orleans 20 years ago. He used to call me, you know why they put chlorine in there? So the government can control you, you know? He used to call me. I was like, dude, I'm in sports. Don't, I can't help you with that. But yeah, it's been around for a long time. I know with RFK Jr., you know, I know a lot of these things are coming to the forefront. But yeah, it seems like any way you can get less chemicals, the better. Right?
Well, it's cost effective also. You know, I mean, we're trying to actually not only to make the progress, we want to be cost effective. And I've been actually saying this since IDA is the fact that we don't have to build bigger, we have to be more efficient in the process of our rebuilding.
Yeah, so no doubt. Although, you know, look, chloride and toothpaste and all that kind of stuff for kids' teeth and all that's always very important as well. So let's talk about policy procedure and the legal committee, and that's Clyde Hamner. So talk about that as 3 legal matters.
There were 3 legal matters that came up before us this past Monday, which was the 13th, and those matters are actually handled within the confines of executive session. And as we do that, we actually try to look forward to keep the citizens of Terrebonne Parish not only safe, make effective government, settle matters that may have some conflict or differences, and once we get to a resolve, to put ourselves in a better position to move on down the road. We have to have
those are in an executive session, first of all, and then.
And we don't generally talk about
right.
We can't talk about what's going on, but the principle behind that is the fact that we want to make sure everybody got a fair shake. Right. And doing so, that's what we did. Yeah,
no, that's always very important. Obviously, when you talk about legal matters, to expose people sometimes can be different. That's why you end up in an executive session for sure. So still got plenty more to talk about, and we'll get to those coming up for sure. But we got community development. We want to talk about the planning committee, and a big part is the 40 pieces of property that will be coming up. So we'll talk about that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Council Vice Chair Carly Harding right here on Bayou Time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're speaking with Carly Harding, District 2, about the upcoming council meeting. You are the council vice chair. One of the big parts, man, you know, when you're talking about blighted properties, anybody that's ever lived in a neighborhood that has those kind of properties can be a real issue. You know, vagrants in those houses, just, you know, the yard gets up, rodents, whatever. And obviously we have a big issue after Hurricane Ida. And right now on the docket, you guys have like 40 properties that you want to talk about?
Well, that's 40 properties that we're going to deal with
right
tonight
now,
on the 14th.
Right.
And with those 40 properties that we're going to deal with, we have such a backlog. Actually, we're waiting on the exact numbers, but then it's well over 400 within Terrebonne Parish. And what we have done is partner with South Central Planning to actually help us with the backlog and the process. Because when we're dealing with that, we had to contact them legally, give them so much time, schedule an appointment for them to come before us, all with nuisance abatement. And so many circumstances that are involved with that, it's unbelievable. And me as a councilman, if I get something in my district, I have to put my eye on it, read the information, see if I can contact the individuals, and we can settle the matter before we can get to coming before the council. And in a lot of cases, it does not happen. My first objective is, number one, to consider all the people within the neighborhoods and residential or commercial areas, but most importantly, try to actually keep the property to that individual, not to work out a deal, to actually, if possible, give them some assistance. But then our backlog is pretty high, and we've been sending that out to get the demolitions and by bid. So South Central Planning is taking care of the process for us at a reasonable cost. That's going to save money, help us take care of that backlog so we can actually start to clear things up.
Yeah, that's real big. And you're right. You don't want to just go in there and it hurt, somebody hadn't been able to clean up, maybe insurance or grants are not working for those people. You don't want to just take their property, but also you got to be fair to the whole neighborhood.
Well, then in this area, we have to look at the fact that even more so now, and perhaps, God forbid, that we have any disasters that come up, but then now we have the insurance problem where people are underinsuring.
Right.
They can't afford any insurance.
Sure.
So now they're actually stuck with a piece of property they don't have the resources because
Right.
everything
Sure.
is falling apart.
Yeah, and you also mentioned it. So say somebody owned a piece of property, they died, left it to their children. It might be 10, 12 people scattered across the country. Now you got to get each one of them to sign off on something.
Right, and they have to come with that agreement. Even though grandmother left it and grandpa left it, it's left up to the siblings.
Right, and they're all part owners, so they all have to sign. So that's part of the process. Right.
Right.
They also got to do that. So yeah, that can get very, very complicated for sure. You're going to have an election here as far as electing the chair and vice chair, right?
Generally, it's the first meeting of the year for chair and vice chair, which we have hopes who's to be chairman, even though I'm vice chairman this year.
I was about to say, usually,
Yeah, right. But we can't count the money until you spend it already. Right. In politics, nothing is guaranteed. But it is a start. I think we have worked pretty good together as a whole in a unit, and I think from my perspective that we have some knowledgeable people that sits on the council, and we have people that are young and have more experience. They're coming together, and that's what we're going to do, coming together as a unit. And that's two forms of government, the administrative and legislative. So we have to work together. Can't say anything negative or positive about any previous administration. What we have is today, and what we move forward from now to the future.
Good point there as well. Hey, you got a millage on there. So Rec, you got a Rec 11 millage, and that's coming up, and that'll be a 10-year millage, right?
It's a 10-year, 10 mil millage. It's been in existence for a number of years. I think Rec 11, at one point when everything started out, it had the most revenue. Collecting the most revenue, had the most responsibility, but as Houma grew, businesses expand, we collect through that particular millage. So they're projected to get about $900,000 over a 10-year period. So we're looking at $9 million, but then the revenue has been dwindling because I've actually had times when then they collected 1 year, 1.3, 1.2 million now. So now the projections is 900,000. Rec 11 incorporated and has incorporated the adult softball complex, which recently, because of some of the circumstances, been turned over back to the parish. It had covered Tony Cavelli Field, but now it covers on Boundary Road, the swimming pool, Dumas, on Boundary Road. We have the gym, the field that's out there, Mechanicville Gym, that park, King Street Park, Parish Street, Wright Street, Dumas Auditorium. So it's a number of parks that they have. But at any given time, any given day, it's been a matter of record that more people play on a Rec 11 piece of property than any other piece of property in Terrebonne Parish by any other record.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a big, big area. And, traditionally, we've all grew up in those areas, I played on those same place. Yeah. So, it's a real important rec district and a lot of kids that'll be there. Yeah, we've lost some population, but still, it's very big. Well, Carly, thanks so much for coming in, giving us a preview. We appreciate it, man. And good luck with whatever goes on with the elections.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
All right.
We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.